Sometimes, the greatest pain in life doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the people we once called family, friends, or even soulmates. It's not the blade that cuts deep, it's the hand that holds it. But let me tell you something powerful. Even betrayal carries a blessing. Even heartbreak holds a hidden truth. And even unfaithful people serve a purpose. They teach us to value loyalty, to protect our peace, and to walk with wisdom. This world is loud with false love and shallow loyalty. People smile with their lips but lie with their eyes. They promise forever but walk away when it rains. But you were made to see deeper. You were made to feel what can't be spoken. That's not weakness. It's discernment. It's a gift. And tonight, we're going to unwrap that gift together. This isn't just a video. This is your wake-up call. This is your moment to learn how to recognize the ones who drain your spirit, who walk beside you but never for you. Stay with me till the end, because by the time this message finishes, you'll never look at betrayal the same way again. This is more than truth. It's transformation. Are you ready? One of the clearest signs of an unfaithful person is that their loyalty is based on their needs, not on your relationship. These people vanish when you're struggling, but show up with a smile when they need something. They don't check in because they care. They reach out because they want. Their kindness is calculated, their presence transactional. They may compliment you when it suits them, but their absence in your hard times speaks louder than any words they offer in your victory. They are there when the spotlight is on you, but never in your darkest rooms. You'll start noticing the patterns. They ask but rarely give. They demand but seldom support. If you stop reaching out, they disappear entirely. Their loyalty is convenience, not commitment. And in truth, it's not that they don't care, it's that they only care when it benefits them. These relationships are draining because you're constantly pouring without ever being refilled. Over time, it chips away at your peace, your confidence, your energy. But here's the truth. You have the right to protect your spirit. You have the right to recognize who's walking beside you and who's just using your journey as a shortcut to theirs. Set boundaries. Stop apologizing for expecting consistency, honesty, or presence. The moment you stop allowing people to show up only when it's convenient for them, you begin to uncover who is genuinely faithful. It's not about anger or revenge. It's about peace, healing, and clarity. When you become intentional about who you keep close, you begin to live lighter. And slowly, you realize that not everyone deserves access to your life, your time, or your heart. Another subtle but powerful sign of an unfaithful person is inconsistency in words and actions. They say the right things, promises, affirmations, declarations of loyalty, but when it's time to back up those words, they fall short. Their actions don't align with their commitments. They may talk about loyalty, but they gossip behind your back. They may preach about trust, but they hide the truth. Unfaithful people are often skilled at appearances. They know how to wear the mask of sincerity, but underneath lies a pattern of betrayal that becomes clear over time. One day they're with you, the next they're nowhere to be found. Their support is temporary, their faithfulness conditional. They might show care in public, but neglect you in private. They're the kind of people who clap the loudest when you fail, not when you win. Pay attention to the red flags that show up in silence. Do they listen when you speak, or just wait to reply? Do they encourage your growth or feel threatened by it? Do they respect your absence as much as your presence? When someone's loyalty shifts with circumstances, when their affection changes based on what you can offer, that's not love or friendship, that's convenience. True faithfulness isn't occasional, it's consistent even when no one is watching. And real loyalty doesn't vanish when things get hard. The sooner you learn to observe patterns over promises, the sooner you'll identify who's walking with you from the heart and who's just passing through for personal gain. Let your peace be your priority, and let time reveal the truth. Third way to identify unfaithful people in your life is by observing how they behave in your absence. See, real loyalty isn't measured by how someone treats you when you're around. It's revealed in what they say and do when you're not in the room. If someone claims to be close to you but entertains gossip about you behind your back, they've already shown their true colors. If they smile in your face and criticize you when you're not there, that's not loyalty. That's betrayal dressed in charm. Unfaithful people often have a double nature. They act one way around you and another way when they think you're not looking. They shift personalities depending on who they're with. Around you, they're kind, supportive, maybe even loving, but away from you, they downplay your successes, question your motives, and sometimes even work against you. Their support is performative, not genuine. Their friendship is based on convenience, not conviction. Watch how they act when you're going through a hard time. Do they stand with you or disappear? Do they defend you or stay silent? The unfaithful will often vanish when your life isn't benefiting them anymore, and when you're not there to serve their interests, they no longer see a reason to stay connected. That kind of behavior speaks volumes. God blesses us with trials not just to build us, but to reveal others. Sometimes the storms in your life aren't meant to destroy you, but to uncover the ones who were never really with you. Don't ignore the signs. Don't explain away repeated betrayals. Learn to value consistency over charisma and action over affection. If someone talks differently about you than they do to you, that's not your friend. That's not your tribe. Let them go, and make space for the people God is sending who will truly walk with you. A fourth way to identify unfaithful people is by noticing how they respond to your success. See, a faithful heart celebrates your growth. They clap the loudest when you win, even when they're still waiting on their own breakthrough. But an unfaithful spirit, it grows quiet when you shine. It compares. It competes. It might fake a smile, but deep inside it's burning with envy. These people will subtly downplay your progress. They'll say things like, "You just got lucky," or "Let's see how long that lasts." They won't repost your victories, they won't show up for your milestones, and if they do, it's just to be seen, not to support. Because their love for you was never about you, it was about them feeling ahead, being needed or staying superior. And the moment your light starts to shine a little too bright, they feel threatened, not inspired. But real love doesn't get jealous. It doesn't compete. It completes. It lifts. It encourages. It celebrates. If they can't be happy when you're happy, they're not built for your destiny. The truth is, God is going to elevate you, and not everyone who started with you is meant to stay with you. Your growth will cost you some company. So check the room when you're being blessed. Watch who claps from the heart and who claps from obligation. Pay attention to who cheers for you in public and who cheers even louder in private. These are your people. The others, let them go with love, but let them go. Because the people God's preparing for your journey ahead won't compete with your light. They'll shine beside you. A fifth way to identify unfaithful people is by observing how they react during times of hardship. When life gets tough, true friends and loyal people will step in to support you, offering help, encouragement, and compassion. But the unfaithful will often retreat, abandon you, or, worse, make your struggle about them. They'll avoid you when you're at your lowest, or they may even try to make you feel worse about the situation. The unfaithful will rarely be there to lift you up when you need it the most. Instead of offering help or sympathy, they might turn your vulnerability into an opportunity to criticize, judge, or manipulate. During difficult times, when your back is against the wall, the unfaithful will reveal their true nature by either leaving you to handle things alone or by offering only superficial help that comes with strings attached. They might make you feel like a burden instead of offering genuine care. The truth is, everyone has their own battles, but if someone truly loves and respects you, they'll stand by you during your struggles, not just your victories. They'll comfort you when you're hurting, encourage you when you're doubting, and support you without expecting anything in return. Unfaithful people may only be around when things are easy, but when the storm hits, they'll disappear. And that's when you realize the difference between real loyalty and false affection. Real friends don't leave when it's hard. They stay, even if it means standing in the rain with you. When times get tough, their love doesn't fade. Instead, it shines brighter. Remember, The unfaithful will show you who they truly are when you're at your lowest. Keep your eyes open to who truly stands with you and who only stands around when it's convenient. You deserve to be surrounded by those who genuinely care, not by those who only stick around when everything is smooth sailing. Another key sign of unfaithful people is their lack of accountability. They will often refuse to take responsibility for their actions or decisions, especially when it negatively impacts others. Instead of owning up to their mistakes, unfaithful people will deflect blame, make excuses, or even manipulate the situation to make it seem like they are the victim. This behavior reveals a fundamental lack of integrity and respect for others. When someone is unfaithful, they will constantly try to shift the blame or avoid facing the consequences of their actions. They may even try to manipulate situations to cover up their deceitful behavior, whether it's in personal relationships or in professional settings. This lack of accountability shows that they are not trustworthy, and it makes it impossible to rely on them for honesty or support. Faithful individuals, on the other hand, own up to their mistakes. They are willing to admit when they are wrong and take steps to make things right. They don't try to hide their faults or shift blame onto others. This honesty and transparency build trust and make relationships stronger. If you find yourself constantly apologizing for someone else's mistakes or trying to clean up their mess, it's time to reassess that relationship. Unfaithful people will never take responsibility for their actions, and that's a clear sign that they cannot be trusted. It's essential to recognize this behavior early and protect yourself from being dragged down by their dishonesty. The seventh way to identify unfaithful people is by paying attention to how they speak about others when they're not around. If someone is constantly speaking negatively about others, gossiping, or sharing confidential information, it's a clear sign of unfaithfulness. When a person cannot be trusted with the private details or feelings of others, it shows that they are not loyal or reliable. Unfaithful people often spread rumors, criticize others behind their backs, and enjoy tearing down people they claim to care about. This behavior is not only hurtful, but also reflects their true nature. If they're comfortable betraying others in this way, you can be sure that they would do the same to you. Trust is a fundamental part of any relationship, and when someone is consistently undermining the trust of others, they are showing you that they cannot be trusted with yours. On the other hand, faithful individuals will uplift others and keep the confidence of those who share personal matters with them. They do not use others' vulnerabilities against them or expose private information for their own gain. A faithful person knows that loyalty is not just about standing by someone's side in times of trouble, but also about protecting their reputation and ensuring they are treated with respect, even in their absence. If someone regularly speaks ill of others or engages in gossip, it's time to take a step back and consider how they might be speaking about you when you're not around. Be wary of people who cannot be trusted with the stories and struggles of others, as they will never be loyal to you when it matters most. At the end of the day, life teaches us through experiences, through heartbreaks, through quiet betrayals and loud wake-up calls. Identifying unfaithful people is not about judging others, it's about protecting the sacred space of your heart, your peace, and your purpose. We all have been hurt by someone we trusted, believed in someone who showed us their mask instead of their true face, and let people into our inner circle who only came to break it apart. But every wound leaves wisdom. Every disappointment teaches us to listen more carefully, not just to what people say, but to what they show us through their actions, their silences, and their patterns. Unfaithful people are not always the ones who walk out on you. Sometimes they stay close but chip away at your confidence, your value, and your vision. They pretend loyalty while feeding doubt, pretend support while quietly hoping for your downfall. That's why discernment is so important. You must learn to recognize the signs, not through fear, but through faith. Faith that God doesn't just want you to succeed, He wants you to be surrounded by people who truly believe in your journey. People who clap when you win, who pray when you struggle, and who stand tall beside you not just in the light, but especially in the dark. So take everything we've shared today and apply it with courage. Look at your circle. Listen to the words people say when your name is not in the room. Reflect on who respects your boundaries, honors your trust, and holds your name with dignity when you're not around. Those are the faithful ones. The rest? Let them go. Your destiny is too powerful to be slowed down by people who are unfaithful to your light. Protect your energy, guard your purpose, and remember this: loyalty is not proven in comfort, it is revealed in crisis. In those moments of pain, struggle, or doubt, the real ones will show up, and the unfaithful will disappear. That's not rejection, that's revelation. And sometimes God removes people from your life not to hurt you, but to protect you from what you cannot see. Keep your heart soft, your eyes open, and your spirit aligned with truth, because when you walk in purpose, you need people who walk with honor. That's the kind of loyalty you deserve, and that's the standard you must keep.